What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Two Guys, One Mic. This is our Thanksgiving week, so happy Thanksgiving to all. I hope you're all enjoying food, family, and football this week.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Exciting.
Yeah,
Happy Turkey Day.
Turkey Day. That's
Ready to start watching some games and eating some good food.
So it's probably going to be what? Probably food, football, in our podcast. That's probably
Right.
not in any order.
Well, you know what they're probably going to do is you watch our podcast while you get the food prepped.
Right. Yeah.
And then eat and watch football all together.
I would
like
suggest that.
Sounds like a good Thursday. Sounds like a good Thursday.
That's a great Thursday to
So-
me. So
Yeah, so we'll get into some things here. We'll talk about some of the games from last week. I know Mike's probably itching to get into talking about
I can't believe
what
it.
happened last week. Shocker.
Purple on purpose.
Yeah, I think
Purple
that's a little.
ears.
Is that a little dig?
There's a
Is that a little digs?
digs.
That's a
It's
little
a
digs?
good.
We thought Jefferson was good too, didn't we?
Sir, shut down.
I know.
You know you were talking what's shut down. That game was shut down.
That was shut down. What was the number? What did we check the stats on? What his exact?
Jefferson,
Yeah.
3 for 33.
Yeah.
So we're
It was,
talking.
something, it was like 3 for 30. It was 33 or 36, 0 touchdowns. I think he only had 5 targets throughout the whole game.
So that was total for that was a
Total.
total shutdown.
It was complete shutdown. Very well done by Mr. Diggs.
Mr. Diggs.
So,
That whole defense.
kudos to that, man.
Ooh,
Um,
nasty.
Nasty.
the Steelers, not so much.
They
Got
played
my,
good
they
though.
got my hopes up so bad in the first half because they played probably the best football they've played all year long in that first half. And then they came out in the second half and went right back to the old Steelers.
Well, didn't they get the first? They got the first one against the Bengals, right? So the
Yeah.
first win, right?
But so they came out and they were playing great. It was literally like watching two boxers go punch for punch. And then we went up by 3 at halftime. They came out. We got the ball at half. They come out, start driving down the field, and they got a false start
Oh.
and had to back it up. And then they got a holding penalty. So it came up to being like 1st and 25
For your
for the
Steelers.
Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the momentum just went downhill, and
You know what's a funny
they
stat
were
for
still
the
in
year?
it. They were still in it.
Joe Burrow, 6 interceptions this year, all against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so they put a stat up, and it was Joe Burrow had 7 turnovers
Yep.
on the year. 5 out of the 7 were from Pittsburgh. Then he got one more in that game. So 6 out of his 8 turnovers are against Pittsburgh.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
But it shows a lot about. Obviously, their defense is good. They got
Minka?
Minka played.
Minka came
So
back.
Minka came
Watt had a disgusting interception. It was like his hands had stickums on it. Like he just jumped up at the line and just grabbed it and pulled it down. It was really cool.
It shows that, and then it shows about obviously playing against, your own division.
Yeah.
How
The
competitive
Bengals
it can
were 0-3 going into that game. They were 0-3 against the AFC North, and then they got to win. They also ruined another streak where teams that had previously played the Panthers had lost the next game.
I remember with the stat,
Yes,
and then I was.
but they weren't the
saying
only team who ruined it. The Falcons also ruined it on the same day.
Okay.
So the Bears should have beat the Falcons, and the Steelers should have beat the Panthers, and should have beat the Bengals, and both the Bengals and the Falcons won.
Like I said in your comments, I said it was a little bit of a stretch, and
It wasn't a stretch, my man. It was.
I'm just saying,
they were
maybe
0-9.
coincidence. Maybe
Yeah,
coincidence.
You know how it is these sports analysts, they'll be like,
Yeah.
well, this is the first time on a Thursday with
86 degrees out and a wind of 0.
while his hair is 4 inches long. Like they pull out these weird things, but
You know, Pickett shows some things sometimes that you're like, okay, this is alright. And then other times it's definitely, you can see he's a rookie.
his first half, he was making smart throws. He was commanding the pocket really well. He was getting George Pickens involved. Second half, not so much. But there was
Najee's looking good though.
Yeah,
Last couple
it's good to
games,
see him
right?
trying to run.
What's his name got hurt there? Warren, right?
Yep, he
Warren
got
got
hurt.
hurt, which I think helps Najee. But Pickens, though, man, that's an exciting player for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's
He had one drop, which was like a walk-in touchdown. But you can't make it, man. Man can't be perfect, you know.
Can't be
perfect.
perfect. Makes sense.
He's damn near close.
Yeah.
And I remember when they drafted him, I was like, who is George Pickens? And everyone's like, oh, you're going to love him. You're going to love him.
And like,
yeah, and I had no idea he had that face covering on. He's sitting there looking at the TV all weird. And I was like, who is this guy?
yeah.
Love him. Obviously, I loved him enough that I was like, shit, Claypool out of
Yeah.
there. Like, I was on board for that.
And another segue to a player that I love is my boy Watson, who got 2 touchdowns. However,
That hurt, right?
it was a tough loss. I was with Adam. It was after our podcast last week, and
Yeah.
we got to watch Tennessee do some damage to the Packers. Packers could not. We were talking about this. They could not stop on 3rd down. I don't know if you watched it, but it was
Yeah, a little bit of it.
every single time they would get the 3rd down, it'd be 3rd down and whatever it was. It would be like 20, and they would get the 3rd down completion. It was unbelievable.
Traylon Burks was ripping it up on them.
Yeah.
But
I actually think I watched up until Watson got the 2nd touchdown.
Right.
Made it 20-17. I said, okay, let's get a little bit of a game.
Yeah.
Then I think I fell asleep.
that's
And I woke up and I saw Tennessee ended up winning by 10.
that's a good spot to leave off on, because that's what I was going to bring up for you. One of the things I wanted to talk about with the Packers was Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback at one thing: extra man on the field.
Yeah.
100%.
Greatest quarterback.
He probably made. I mean, he made that a thing, right?
Yeah.
Now there's teams
He
that are.
caught them on a late substitution, got his guys to the line, called a hike, got a free play, and they said the stat during the game, and I wish I could remember it, but I can't. But it's like his percentage on that for like touchdowns,
Right.
is
It's
like 60 to
unbelievable.
70%.
Yeah.
He's crazy on this,
Yeah.
catching them on the field and getting a free play out of it, and then scoring off of that.
And I tell you what, that play specifically, Watson went up for it. It was a good catch. Like he's.
So everybody
he's pretty-
threw it at you, and I were like, "What's he doing?"
And then all of a sudden, it's just like he somehow got. I mean, he's 6'4". The guy's good. I think it's going to be exciting for.
Yeah,
to
he's
see
finally
him.
starting to come out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he was hurt for a
Yeah.
lot of the season. So, but he only. I mean, besides those 2 touchdowns, he really didn't do much. The offense really didn't.
What
do
pick
much.
did Adams go when they picked him?
Second?
Because they were saying Watson's like the highest receiver they've taken since possibly Adam, maybe even
Yeah.
before Adams.
It was. I know Adams was a 2nd round pick.
Okay.
But I remember, it's one thing. It's funny about Adams. I hated him when he first came out because of what you said, the drops. He would literally go right down the middle, and it would just be like boom, off. And I'm like, this is so frustrating.
And
But
now he's probably the best receiver in football.
Is he?
he's playing
Is he?
He's playing ridiculous.
Dude, I think he's great, but how do you? Jefferson,
I know.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
No, he's
Jefferson,
not. I don't think he is.
Hopkins,
But okay, look
all
at the
these
difference.
guys. There's the receivers nowadays.
Jefferson,
are
maybe.
so-
I'd still put Adams before Hopkins, though.
do you?
100% Hopkins. The one player I would say, and I know that this is kind of like a thing for me, but look at Tyreek Hill and what the transformation for the Dolphins. I know there's a lot of pieces there, but look at where they are without him.
Right.
They weren't.
He elevates
Yeah.
the other
elevate their
players.
team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
if you look at Adams, right, he's elevating a play of his own, like he's doing really well, but is he really elevating the team? I feel like almost Tyreek Hill is. I think it's a lot of contributions from a lot of people, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Adams, I mean, I love Adams, so he's
Yeah.
going to be always,
I liked what he said after that game winner last week. Surtain said he's too little. He's not there yet.
Did you see how he left the field too? Did you see that?
No, he
He like stopped and like let the
Yeah.
guys walk.
He
in
did.
front of
I
him.
think he's done it a couple of times. It's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, as far as like a game for the Packers, it was exciting when we beat you guys. It was fun,
I know.
but now reality hit back again. I think it was a little bit of.
You should reverse psychology yourself this
I
week.
should have did it.
I told you. Actually, I was the only one who said
Yeah,
what was going to happen.
yeah.
But on the flip side, I was the only one who took the Purple People Eaters, and that was embarrassing. Dude, the Cowboys destroyed them.
Can I read a Facebook message that was delivered to us? I think we all know who this is from. You might be confused right at the moment, but
Uh-oh.
let me see. No, it's not a bad one. I don't know where. What's today?
But this
Talk about-
while he looks at this, I got a question for you.
Mm.
Do the Cowboys move on from Zeke?
No.
I know he played well, but Tony Pollard balled out.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, if you're like a true Cowboy fan and you follow them and you watch them, you know we need Zeke still. Zeke, because Pollard, I don't think he's got the body right now to carry the load for a full game without wearing down. Zeke's that one that's going to pound it. And then
So do you
Pollard,
look for a cheaper option?
Yes.
Do you let Zeke go? Do you look for a cheaper option?
See, I'm still a Zeke fan. I know he's not what he used to be, but I like that Zeke Pollard combination.
No, what they need to do is get a running back like a ground and pound guy.
How you gonna unload that contract now, though? Even if you wanted to,
Is he still not? Yeah.
He's there for like
it's
another
a lot
2
of
or
money.
3 years, right?
Still, I don't think
26 or 27
I don't
is that
think no team's gonna take on an aging running back that amount of money. And if you drop him, that's what, just dead cap, right?
I think so.
You're just eating that money. So I don't know. I do love Pollard though.
I
Well,
can't. I
I
can't
could
find
see a team like the Rams being desperate and making a because they don't know what's going on with their running game.
See, they just released Daryl Henderson
Yeah.
today too.
He was
Yeah.
hurt, and then they're like, "Oh, see you later."
And
bud."
the Broncos released Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
Yeah, fumble man. By the way, I couldn't get our post. He must have deleted it. But remember when our buddy Steve Tonkin messaged us?
yes.
Well, messaged you technically, and then we
Oh
all
yeah, it was
got
on
on it,
Facebook. Yeah.
and said, "How could anybody
Yeah.
pick the
I said the
Cowboys?"
delusional Cowboys fans picked them.
Yeah, and then I said how much hatred I had
Yeah.
for the Vikings.
Yeah, I heard that.
So, how did it feel?
It felt good for once being on that side of a blowout. Either Cowboys are always either the ones that get blown out or it's a last second field goal.
Yeah,
It's never just that
40-3.
dismantling of a team so badly where CBS says, okay, we're going to switch to a more competitive game. And I was still mad. 37-3 at that point, so I don't watch it still.
Right. It's your team.
Yeah.
Right. You
This
want
was a really good. You were talking about a really good football weekend for you.
Yeah.
very good.
Notre Dame came out and stomped on who were they playing?
Boston College.
Boston College, which they should have. And then the Cowboys came out and took it to the Vikings.
What was the total? You said something.
84-3.
84-3.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's to be a football fan this weekend.
Yeah.
It was Notre Dame's senior game.
Yeah.
So they were scoring with people that don't usually play for them too, right?
Yeah.
Like their seniors were out
And
there
it was
doing
kind of
stuff.
crappy weather, too, and they were still...
Did you see the third quarter of that game?
Yeah.
You watched it. You probably didn't watch it.
I didn't. Yeah.
So the beginning of the third quarter, it was like green grass, completely fine, and then like a little bit into it, snow started to fall. So it was like a little
Is this
dusty.
in Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's in Great
South Bend.
South Bend. Great Bend's down the street
Yeah.
from us. South Bend, Indiana. So then it like started to flurry a little bit, and it was like you could still see the grass, but there was snow on the ground. And by the end of the third quarter, you couldn't see the ground, completely
Wow.
white.
That's my favorite football.
I love it.
That's my favorite football.
So I had it on here. I was watching it, and we ran down to like the dollar store or something real quick to get stuff, and the kids both wanted to go with Aaron, so I was like, all right, I'll come with you. You know, it's like sending them off.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little backup for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we left, and the game was on, and it had just started snowing, but the grass is still green. We came back, and I walked in, and I looked at the TV, and I turned around, I go, Aaron, you need to see this, man. Like, you can't even see the field anymore. She's like, no way. She comes in, she's like, what happened? Like, it was just all of a sudden snow.
You have to change your cleats for like all that.
Yeah.
That's
A game like that's fun.
yeah. It
But
is.
like Buffalo, 80 inches of snow, they could have done that.
They could have tried.
I mean,
They could have tried.
No, that was beyond. So, did you see there was something I saw on one of the social media things where they were like, they said to the newscasters, you have to make, because you can't just say this is just another storm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't. We always get dumped down with snow. You got to make it interesting. So she was like, okay. She compared the snowfall to Josh Allen, like the height of Josh Allen. He's 77 inches tall. She's like, so by like Pre-game, it'd be up to his ankles and blah, and she's like going through. She's like, by the time the game came, you wouldn't see the top of his head.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And we're about what, 4 hours from Buffalo?
4-ish, yeah.
And we have nothing. Completely nothing.
You probably know this, maybe because you drive. I think possibly that way too. But you have lived out in Michigan before. Going through that area of like Lake Erie with all that lake effect,
It's crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
That's how we go. That's actually how we go when we go to Kentucky. We go out
86 or 17.
17 to Erie, PA, and then down through Ohio, and you hit the 3 C's of Ohio.
Yeah.
Because we went out to Michigan twice a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Each time through that area out there was just crazy.
When I was with my ex, my parents came down for it was some sort of party that we had, and they had to turn around in Ohio because they literally could not in that Erie area.
Well, you know what Ohio gets a lot too is ice.
Yeah.
When we went down to Louisville the one time, we went down the day after an ice storm, and there were literally cars on the side of the road with just sheets of ice on them.
Yeah. So that's how Michigan was. It was like, because living in New York, so much snow, right? Like we get that accumulation. Not that much in Michigan, but so much. Like you said, ice. It was freezing.
Ridiculous.
Freezing. Yeah. So, but good game though, man. For
it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. That the combination of Zeke and Pollard were great.
CD didn't do much because he didn't really have to.
He didn't really have to.
Yeah.
Pollard was
Dak
carrying them.
Yeah.
Dak was like 22 of 25 or something.
Did you have him on your team?
Pollard, yeah.
Pollard, yeah.
Were you playing him, or was he on your bench?
No, he was playing.
You've been playing it because your running backs are a little bit kind of. Which I mean, he's a great running back. So
I hear you. My running back, Jarek McKinnon, killed me this week.
Yeah.
Killed me. I almost pulled it off.
You can't make trades with anybody.
I don't want to hear it. Listen, I don't want to hear it. It's my team is there, but I'm like 4 games back or 3 games back, and I don't think I'm gonna make the playoffs.
Well, how about that trade in the other league there? I trade for Justin Fields, and then what's he do?
Gets hurt.
Gets hurt.
Yeah.
Dislocates his shoulder.
I told you, man.
Poor guy.
The Fields train. I'm not on the Fields train.
Hopefully he ends up actually doing something.
I
So
like it. Now it's going to be interesting too, because after Thanksgiving, Odell's supposed to visit the Cowboys.
They are saying that the Cowboys are making the strongest effort from the front office through players. Everybody in the Cowboys organization is trying to get.
Well, they were showing a tweet.
Like the rest of them aren't. Like the rest of the teams aren't. But the
Odell
Cowboys are.
tweeted after the game and said they went crazy today with the eye emoji.
Yeah.
And Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence tweeted back, "Yeah, we did go crazy. Come join us."
Yeah, I saw part. Micah did.
I don't know.
So
I think they're the favorites to land him right now.
well, so I think it's between them and the
And if
Giants.
we come out Thanksgiving and we smoke the Giants,
See, that's where. Did you hear that in the podcast? They were like, whoever wins this game is going to get Odell. So whoever gets it, right?
it's the Odell Bowl.
Yeah, right. But so what do we? So did you have some questions on?
Yeah, we'll get in. So, like, obviously, this is Thanksgiving week. We'll run down real quick. We already talked about the Packers and Titans. I can't remember if there's any other games that I wanted to talk about. The Buffalo
That
game
crazy
wasn't.
punt return from New England.
Yeah,
That was
that
nuts.
was-
But that's the first punt return of the year
Really?
for a touchdown.
Wow.
And there's one
There's a
other.
walk-off.
There's a kickoff
Basically.
return that I think Duvernay did for Baltimore. So there's been one kickoff return and one punt return
Well,
for a
what's his
touchdown.
name? Patrick Peterson had one today or last week, I think, because he became like the most or tied for something where Patrick Peterson ended up doing something where he scored.
Not Patrick Peterson, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cordell.
Cordell. Yeah, my bad.
Cordell, yeah, he had a
Cordell.
kickoff.
I was going Cordell.
Yeah.
It's Cordero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cordell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a touchdown, I think, this week.
And I think that was the first walk-off punt return since Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
And it was against a New York team.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
Giants. Yeah. When he.
those were the other things I wanted to say was that both New York teams, the Jets and the Giants, came crashing back to earth
Yeah.
this week. They don't look as strong as I thought. And
How
then
about our adopted team now?
yeah,
Can
and,
we straight?
and the
I know.
Eagles
Yeah.
barely pulling it off at the end. That was nuts. Did you see
Yeah. 17.
Sirianni?
No.
I think it was Sirianni.
Yeah.
Went up to the fans at the end of the game behind the bench.
Uh-huh.
That one's for Frank Wright or Reich or whatever. his name
Really?
is. Yeah.
Wow.
It's on TikTok. It's all over TikTok.
That game was good Sunday night.
Yeah.
Chiefs Chargers.
Yeah.
That was back and forth.
And then the Mexico City
49ers.
game, the 49ers were putting it on them.
Yeah.
Kittle almost
Well,
did me some favors.
their offense, I mean, is incredible, right? You have a lot of
Yeah.
weapons in front of you if you can just be able to do it. The one thing I did want to bring up about one game was the Jets versus Patriots and how how Zach Wilson
It's
was
garbage.
his press afterwards. You
Yeah,
guys-
that was bad.
like.
Well, I didn't see what happened with his press.
Oh, you didn't hear? So they asked him. They said, could you have done anything more? Your defense, obviously.
Yeah, but asked him if he let the defense down.
If you let the defense down, and he said no. They scored 3 points. How do you not?
Did you see they might bench him this week?
Yeah, well, because I mean, but imagine as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
defense, right? Sauce said something, I think, afterward.
I think they're getting frustrated with him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Imagine if you literally scored 3 points and you didn't even score it. Your kicker scored it, and you go, no, there's nothing else we could have done. Like you had 77 yards. You're telling me that?
I think Elijah Moore posted. I saw a picture. Elijah Moore posted on Instagram of him throwing. He could be the quarterback.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't-
Elijah Moore's been frustrated all year
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
He openly came out and
He wants to
complained
trade.
about not
Wanted-
getting
yeah,
traded.
he wanted to
wanted
trade,
traded.
yeah.
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 So I mean, I think they're 6-4, but I think there's a lot of frustration with Zach Wilson right now.
Yeah. Well, when you start 4-2 before he even comes back or whatever,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden you're 6-4.
Yeah.
You know, he's just I don't know. It's
tough.
there's turmoil in New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
it's-
And he had 9 completions for 77 yards.
That's insane from a quarterback. And it wasn't even like it was crazy.
9 for
weather.
77.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it
He
was.
didn't even average 10 yards a pass.
No,
Jeez.
it was absolute garbage. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. But like we said last week, Thanksgiving week.
He's good.
You know, we're doing Thanksgiving things, so we can go over some interesting things about the history or our teams in whatever. I did do a little bit of research on it.
Mm-hmm.
In Thanksgiving games, the Cowboys hold a 31-22-1 record,
I don't remember when that tie was.
which gives them I don't know. I had it all pulled up, but I
Even
couldn't
the
tell you.
Packers have tied twice.
But I think it was back in the day. Like way back in the day. Because they started actually playing on Thanksgiving in like the AFL days.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised how far back we went. But they're 31-22-1. They have a winning percentage of .583.
It's not bad.
Or 58%.
I mean, it's not terrible.
And the last time they played was last year.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little...
Yeah.
Throw that in there because just for the Packers and the Steelers. But if I
Last
was
time we
like,
played last year.
but for the Packers and Steelers, I figured I'd just do it for the
Yeah.
Cowboys too.
Yeah.
Then your Packers, respectable amount of games played.
It's not bad.
They're 14-20-2.
That's not good.
Again, I think
Yeah.
the ties came from way back.
Yeah.
So they have a
Not
winning
great.
percentage. They have about a 42% winning percentage. .417.
We're not the worst.
And the last time they played, this is when I was kind of surprised. Was the last time they played was in 2015.
Right, especially being Lions.
A Lions
Obviously, as
team,
a
yeah.
Lions, you know.
You'd think
massive-
they'd want to put like division games on there or
Yeah.
whatever, but the last time they played was 2015. So
Interesting stat.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the Steelers. You know, this Thanksgiving game's kind of shaking up the same way this year's going.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are ahead. The Packers are in the middle, and the Steelers are bringing up the bottom. They've only played in 8 games on Thanksgiving, and their record is a whopping 2-6.
Not the best.
Not the best. And their first win came in 1950, and their second win came the last time they played, which was in 2016. So I don't want to see them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
With that record, you know.
Yeah, you know, if that's how they're going to play, I want to see them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which luckily this week I don't have to worry about it. They play on Monday.
Oh
They have
yeah.
the Monday night game
Nice.
this week, unless they get flexed again,
Right.
which
Which
they haven't said. But if
Probably
honestly,
not for Monday night.
if you're going to flex a primetime game, I would flex the Steelers Colts over the Steelers Bengals.
yes.
At least
but
at least the Bengals, you would have seen the Joe Burrow and stuff.
But they don't normally flex Mondays. They flex
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because I actually went to a flex game a Sunday. It was supposed to be earlier, and it was an Eagles game. They were in the playoffs, and they got flexed to the evening. It was interesting. Yeah, kind of ruined my plans, but so that is.
So, but that's pretty. I mean,
That's cool stat.
yeah, cool
Yeah.
cool stats like this. And then a couple trivia things. One, you guys are going to see the answer because I already wrote it up there. But the longest streak of not playing on Thanksgiving belongs to the Rams.
Wow.
They haven't played on Thanksgiving Day since 1975.
How do you think as a player, you're like, man, I want to play on Thanksgiving? Or you're like, I get to be home with the family?
Personally, my stance would be if I'm going to play on Thanksgiving, I want to play the Lions. Because they always have the early game. They're always the early game. The Cowboys are always the mid game. Then there's a late game.
Yeah.
Because or I'd want to be the late game. I wouldn't want to play Cowboys. I wouldn't want to play in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I'd want to play either early and then still have the evening to do your
Right,
family
family
stuff,
stuff,
or
right.
have the late game and hang with the family. I mean, even though you got warm ups and all that stuff.
I mean, if you're the home team, if you're the away team, you got to travel.
That's
and stuff.
true. Right.
So you're missing, that
I don't
after
know.
the game, even if for the Lions it's early, you're still traveling back
I think
to wherever you got to go.
as a player myself, I would get hyped to play on Thanksgiving because of the history and the tradition.
exactly
of
where I
playing
was going with.
on Thanksgiving.
I would want to. Now, would I want to almost maybe I wouldn't want to every time, but I would at
Right.
least, if I was a player, I'd want to play at least one time in my
Okay, yeah.
career. Like,
Yeah, because Thanksgiving football is awesome.
it was,
You know?
plus, I mean, like, yes, Thanksgiving, it's a tradition, right? But you can have Thanksgiving on Friday. I
Yeah.
know it's not the same
Yeah,
exactly.
we have a Thanksgiving on Saturday this year. We have
Yeah.
Thursday, and then we're doing Aaron's extended family on Saturday.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like it's,
And-
playing in it would be.
One of my, honestly, to tell you guys, one of my all-time favorite football jerseys is the Detroit Lions Turkey Day jerseys.
Yeah.
Solid silver helmet.
I do like that.
Solid blue jersey.
I'm surprised you didn't
And they
wear
don't
it
wear it.
today. I'm surprised you didn't wear it tonight.
Well, that's not their.
Oh,
that's not their turkey.
okay,
It's it's a darker blue than the baby
Okay,
blue.
okay.
And it's just honestly it looks like
It
they're
does
getting ready to
look
go practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just solid silver helmet, just a blue jersey with silver numbers, and then their silver pants.
Yeah, I like those too.
Those are my
Feels like
favorite
a-
jerseys, and I don't.
yeah.
I could. It's just so simplistic that's like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of my
The
favorite.
Cowboys throwbacks are always pretty nice on Thanksgiving too.
things. Are they doing the star this year?
Yeah, I think.
Going with the star on
I
the
think it's a
shoulder?
little bit different.
Is it?
Yeah, but
I
it's
like
still
those
kind of the
ones,
same
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I like those ones too. I got Aaron a white one that has the star and then the blue sleeve.
Yeah,
I got her one of those jerseys. That's a sharp jersey. I do like that. But yeah, so the Rams haven't played since 1975. But there's one team in NFL history that has 0 games played on Thanksgiving.
you know this.
Do you
I
know who it is?
I don't. But I'm.
I know who it is.
You know who it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm pretty sure
Can I ask? Is there like a reason behind?
because they suck.
Mike knows who it is. And let me give you another hint.
The Texans.
No. They haven't. The
They're
Rams
just-
haven't
I don't
played.
give it away.
The Rams haven't played since 1975. This team hasn't played since 1995, I think. And they've never played.
But they haven't played because they never were. Is this a okay? The only other guess I was gonna say was the Dolphins, but I
No, they've played against the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Leon Lett thing.
Leon
okay, yeah, okay.
You really? You don't know? Let them know, Mike.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jacksonville
Oh,
Jaguars
okay.
have never played on Thanksgiving. Day.
Tommy boy.
Never played. They have 0 games played on Thanksgiving.
Tommy.
When you said the Texans, I was going to say same division, but
Right.
I thought that would give it away too quick.
It would.
Well, then you said Miami. I was gonna be like, it's the same state.
Yeah,
See, I was getting really close. Like certain
We're
words.
throwing it out, but yeah. So
you've heard
The-
of
the
Tommy
Jaguars have
talking
never-
about that before.
He's probably
has he talked about it?
How
Is that how you do?
Yeah. Well,
Or did you
I
just
think I
or
did
you
hear
think of the
from him,
7
yeah.
teams then?
yeah.
Do you think they ever will give him a bone?
He probably will. eventually.
You know.
No, because they give them the London games. Yeah,
Right.
you have all the London games.
That's true.
Just save the good games for Thursdays.
Yep.
That's the other thing is they want a good game on Thanksgiving. They don't want to.
Yeah, but I don't know if they ever will. I mean, you'd think eventually they will.
You would think, but
But-
they've been their expansion year was '95, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the year?
Yeah.
So they've been around since 1995, and they've never been
That's
in a
kind of
Thanksgiving
sad.
game.
That's kind of sad.
Well, what do they get? It could either be what? Jags, Lions? Yeah.
Eh.
Jags, Cowboys?
But you also have to. They have to be a game where they're playing that division too, right? So they would have
No,
to play.
because the third game they have now is the nighttime game. It's just random teams.
But they ain't going to probably put the Jags on Thanksgiving at 8:20 in prime time.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't
It
know.
depends if they get a fluke year like 2017,
Yeah.
where their
Yeah.
defense was
Right, but they're not
disgusting.
going to know. And then the year after they.
Well, the year after they could put them in there and just
Right,
hope,
and then that would
but
be terrible.
I don't,
Did you-
but if it's a marquee match, like if Trevor Lawrence keeps going up
Yeah.
and he becomes a marquee name, which he's kind of lost his luster, but I could imagine like a Jaguars Chiefs or Jags Browns. Imagine that where they put Watson versus Lawrence again, or no, it wasn't Watson. Who did Lawrence always play? Tua. If they put the Jags and Dolphins in
Yeah.
there, and it brings back Tua versus Lawrence on prime time and on a Thursday night game, that'd be kind of cool.
Hey,
I think it was Watson versus Tua, too, wasn't it? Because Watson at Clemson beat Alabama in the title game.
Yeah, but was it Tua or was it the one before Tua?
We're not going college here, guys. Though, come on, we're doing
Yeah,
too
okay.
much.
Anyways.
We're doing too much.
So, last week we had talked about memorable Thanksgiving Day moments for your teams. You got more opportunities than us. You got some memorable moments that you can think of for the Cowboys? We already mentioned the Leon Lett.
Yeah, Leon Lett, the snow game in Texas.
Yeah. Do you remember what happened on that play?
Yeah,
What it was?
he tried to hop on a fumble, I think.
No, blocked field goal.
Blocked field goal, yeah.
He tried to get a blocked field goal and he slid.
Yeah.
He slid in to
Really?
get it and he kicked the ball. And the
Yeah.
Dolphins recovered it and kicked a field goal and won that game, right?
wow.
Didn't the Dolphins recover it and then kick a field goal and win that
Dolphins
game?
won, Yeah,
Because of that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Leon Lett. That was after the Super Bowl when he held the ball behind him and BB knocked it out.
Yeah.
Because I think the call was like, Leon Lett, he did it again or something.
I do remember that.
It's got to be
that
rough
call.
to be that many times as a mistake.
Yeah.
The last couple of years haven't been too memorable because I think they haven't won since. Actually, I don't think they've won in about 4 or 5 years on Thanksgiving.
This year's different, my man.
They lost to the Raiders last year. Then it was Washington with Alex Smith. Then it was Carolina, I think. So they've lost a few in a row.
Wow.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah, turn around sometime.
Not good, yeah. They might this year. We'll see.
Well, this year's is a big one.
Whoa,
Division rival.
division, yeah.
Hated
Two
Giants.
good teams. Two good teams.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
like I said, maybe it was a fluke game this week.
We'll
you know?
see. This is a test for the Giants.
This is a test for the Cowboys as well.
I think that's a fair
Yeah.
assessment. It's a test for both of them.
I do want to see it be some type of
A
test.
good
'cause
game, right?
After a game like Dallas played last week, I want to see what they can do
Right.
this week.
Yeah. Well, Giants' defense is no joke. I mean, their defense is good. You can have a bad game as a defense. Their offense is where they shut down Barkley. Are you going to be able to shut down Barkley? That's the question.
Yeah. And if there's
Barkley's a
one question mark with the Cowboys, it's probably their run defense.
Right.
But they did well with Dalvin Cook last week.
They did. Yeah.
So
But Barkley's a different animal.
He is a completely different animal.
Different animal.
you
Yeah.
put him above Dalvin Cook?
100%.
Yeah.
Especially this year for sure.
Healthy?
Yeah.
Healthy, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
This year for sure. I mean, if we're looking at
I like Barkley. I'm not
statistics,
knocking
though.
Barkley. I'm just it was a honest question.
Yeah.
Would you put
Statistically,
him-
this year for sure. I mean, he's
okay.
he's been dominant for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comeback player.
Probably. I would, like, say he might be the best running back this year so far. This year has been putting up production and honestly,
He's definitely top of the league.
his offense. I mean, the offense is run through him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's just say this: Barkley, he's a beast.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys can take him away, Giants are going to struggle. Because I don't think they can do
They
much
lost
more.
a lot of receivers,
Especially
too.
if Daniel Jones has to drop. If they take away Barkley and Jones has to drop back and pass with that pass rush,
Yeah.
Giants are going to be in trouble.
Well, we'll see. We'll
Do
see.
you, speaking about running backs, do you know who's leading the NFL in touchdown scores right now?
Yes.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal
Jamal Williams.
Another
Yeah.
Lions. Another Thanksgiving guy.
Yeah, another Thanksgiving guy. Lions.
I love him too. His just
Yeah, he was a
spirit. and
Packer.
He's a
He was a
Packer.
Packer,
Yeah.
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 Do you have any memories of
I
Thanksgiving
don't. To be
games?
completely honest with you, I really don't.
No. It
And
just surprised me that you guys, with the opportunities that you guys have had in Thanksgivings compared to me, that I have more memorable moments.
last time was 15. I mean, that was what 7 years ago.
Before you were a fan.
And I was a fan for many years, but I just don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember any Thanksgiving games myself. I don't know. Maybe do you guys have any Packers memories? Not really.
I can't even think of the
We
game.
probably played against the Cowboys a couple times. I'm sure.
Oh, actually, yeah. One Thanksgiving, Aikman got hurt. Jason Garrett came in, beat Brett Favre
Okay,
on Thanksgiving Day.
You know what? Forget it. Never mind.
Seriously.
I'm sure if you went back to the Favre era,
Yeah.
you would have some games. You would have some games, and probably even early on, Rodgers.
Yeah.
You would have some
I'm sure
Thanksgiving
there's-
games. I feel
Well,
like there's
look it up.
I bet it.
You know,
Sid Garrett.
Jason Garrett. He's a one and done.
when did Moss moon the crowd?
I don't think that was Thanksgiving.
That was Thanksgiving,
That's a Thanksgiving game, though.
wasn't it?
When
when Moss did the 3 catches.
Three
for-
touchdowns, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, and then he said something to the camera because that was the year he came out,
Yeah, it was a
and
rookie year.
he wanted to go to Dallas. He thought Dallas was going to take him, and they didn't take him.
And look at what
And
happened.
Then he came back and did that. So that was a Thanksgiving
Biggest
day.
mistake of their lives.
Now I'm starting to understand why you don't remember Thanksgiving moments, because all the big moments happen against the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure. What about you?
I'm not for certain. I have to go and look, but I want maybe that T.O. Star thing was a Thanksgiving Day game too, where he went in the middle of the star.
Right.
Yeah, Roy
The
Williams
Eagles?
popped him.
Yeah,
It might have been.
that might have been
It
a
might have been.
Thanksgiving Day
That might have
game
been.
too.
That might have been. Yeah.
T.O., man. That
And
guy
then
was
Then he became a cowboy.
a
Yeah.
monster.
I mean, for the Steelers, there were two things. One that always sticks with me is the Bettis game. They came out. I just saw the year too. It was like 2000 and
Only 2
8.
stood out for you because there was only 2 wins, right? Is that...
well, I mean, out of 8 opportunities, and most of those 8 happened in the 1950s and 60s. But I want to say it was 2008-ish. Bettis, the Steelers played the Lions, and they went into overtime, and they went out for the coin toss, and Bettis calls tails, and the ref says heads the call, and he flips the coin, and it ended up being tails, and the Lions get the ball, and they drive down and kick a field goal and lose.
Or they win.
Was Bettis still?
The Steelers lost.
Steelers lost.
Bettis was still around in 08?
Yeah, right? 12, I mean, what?
Yeah.
That's 12, 14 years ago.
08 was his last year, I think.
14 years ago, I mean, you would...
Well, because they played the Packers in 2010.
Right, and you guys were...
So no, maybe it was earlier than that.
I think
Might have
it
been
was.
like 02.
Yeah.
Might have been like 02
Because I remember
or 06.
being a little bit younger remembering it.
a little bit-
And 08,
You would remember.
yeah.
They went to the Super
Senior
Bowl.
year.
No, yeah, because 08 was the year they
Earlier.
played. 08 was the year that Santonio Holmes made the catch.
Oh.
So Bettis would have retired in 06. So it might have been like 02. Might have been 2002.
Wow. Yeah.
Where he did it. But then I remember the next week, or not week, that Sunday, I want to say it was either Jags or Falcons. They came out for their coin toss, and they brought a banner with them that said tails on it, and then they held it up. So that. But then the other one that I saw when I was looking, I didn't realize it was on Thanksgiving when they did it, was the Tomlin game, where he stepped on the field during Jacoby Jones's kick return
Yeah.
and stopped the touchdown. I didn't realize that was on Thanksgiving. But they, maybe that was 2016. Maybe the Steelers didn't win in 2016. But yeah.
Another
that
memory that pops up, and like I said, we'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure this would have been a Thanksgiving Day game too. It's nothing to do with our teams, but because the Patriots are playing, I think the butt fumble happened on Thanksgiving night.
Interesting. Mark
No.
Sanchez.
I think so.
I thought it would be interesting to kind of ask you guys a couple questions on. So obviously there's the Cowboys, the Lions have been the most games played. So I thought maybe it would be kind of interesting to see who has the most yards, kind of stuff like that. So who do you think has the most passing yards of all time on Thanksgiving?
All-time passing
All-time
yards.
passing yards. I'll give you a hint.
Is it in the NFC North?
It's one of the two teams. One of the Cowboys or the
I'll
Lions.
go Matthew Stafford.
Most
Okay.
passing yards
All time.
all time, or just
On
one
Thursday.
game?
No, all time. All time.
All-time Thanksgiving. I'm going to go Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I'll say Stafford.
Yep, Matthew Stafford with 3,000. And then Tony Romo, number 2, with 2,300. I'm going to round down or up. And then Troy Aikman at 2,100 or 2,200. All right, so most passing touchdowns. Who do you think has the most there? Passing touchdowns.
I'll go. Oh boy. Let's say Romo on that one.
Romo, what about you?
No. Is it still in?
It's
Those
those
two
two.
teams?
Yep, those two.
I'm going to go Stafford again.
So Tony Romo was number 1. Actually, I'm sorry, looking at it wrong. They both were number 1, 18.
Wow. Okay.
18. And now Stafford might not even be able to break it because who knows if
Yeah.
the Rams with the longest.
Right, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so that will be
Maybe he
interesting.
got sick of playing on
Well, Romo's
Thanksgiving.
not going to break it either.
Yeah, that's
Romo
true.
won't break it.
So
It'll be
true.
interesting though to
maybe
see if.
Dak or something will come up the ranks
Okay,
a little
let's,
bit.
Pump
okay,
the
let's
brakes, bud.
pump
Pump the
them up.
brakes.
But it'll be interesting to see if they're going to snap the streak, right? Because obviously it's Matthew Stafford.
How
at
about Stafford
Lions.
versus the Lions?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
On
And then he could
Thanksgiving.
break the stat. It would be it's a perfect way. Okay, touchdowns.
NFL should come to us for some marketing.
Yeah.
Just a
that
little-
would be cool though.
Right, I mean, come on.
Rushing
Most rushing
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Why ain't going with a Lions player because they've
No,
never had a rushing
it's
game?
well, it could be Bear Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Say sorry.
I'm gonna go Everett.
Okay.
That's a good one, but I think it's a modern day player. I'm gonna go with
Again, in these two teams. Remember.
Jones. Who was the Jones that played for? Not Felix, the other one.
Who?
The
Julius
big guy.
Jones?
The big guy.
Julius.
Julius Jones.
Right? No.
That's Benjamin Barber.
Emmett Smith was 13. Tony Dortch with 9. Barry Sanders with 8. And then you got the Bell. Joe Quinn
Oh, he's
Oh,
from
yeah.
Detroit.
Bell
Yeah.
with 5.
Who
Five,
does
that's it.
Dortch play for?
Cowboys.
Dortch.
Dorsett, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Dortch. Cut that. Cut. I was thinking of Dortch.
That's
Tony
gonna be our first-
Dortch.
That should be our first TikTok right there. Tony Dortch.
Tony Dorsett.
All
Tony
right.
Dorsett. 9. Okay. All right. So this is a good one because I like this one. Most receiving yards.
Randy Moss.
Yeah. Right. Remember, there's some.
Calvin Johnson.
Okay, that's a very good guess.
I mean, yeah, I can't go against Megatron, I guess.
Okay, you can.
Yes, you can go against him.
It's gonna be a cowboy. Dez.
Think about it. Think about it longer.
Irvin. Dez. Or T.O.
No. Drew Pearson.
Nope.
Herman Moore.
Put the jersey on.
Witten.
Really?
Jason Witten.
Really?
903
Oh,
yards.
it's Romo's man.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
used to go camping together in the mountains.
Herman
Of
Morris.
Brokeback.
Herman Morris. I don't know, or
Herman
Moore,
Moore. Yeah.
Moore
Yeah.
for the Lions. I know. I'm
What site? I'm questioning this site. you know,
834.
Herman Moore was awesome, actually.
I'm
Herman
destroying
Moore
it.
was
Lions.
very underrated.
Yeah.
And then it was Calvin Johnson with 769, and then Irvin with
Okay.
722. Okay, so last one, maybe one more, but most receiving touchdowns all time.
Receiving touchdowns.
Touchdowns. Again, it's all players from those
Right.
two teams. So I'm gonna give you a hint. Jason Witten is not the guy.
See, I was kind of leaning that way, but I'm gonna go Megatron again. Megatron.
Des Bryant.
Calvin Johnson, 11. No Megatron.
Did-
Irvin
no,
had 6.
Did his
And then this other
catch
guy,
where he
Fox.
put it on the ground and stood up to celebrate, was that on Thanksgiving?
No, that was week 1, I think.
That was week 1.
Yeah.
Okay, just one more, and then we'll go because there's like a million of these. Most passing yards on a Thanksgiving game, single game,
Single
one
game?
game.
Jason Garrett.
You're funny.
Is it the same the two teams? Or is it from somebody else?
No.
Dante Culpepper.
I'm sorry. It is from. It's from the two teams, yeah.
Okay.
But there's other
no,
teams.
it will be Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. What do you think?
Jason Garrett.
No, it's Troy Aikman with 455, and then
Is Garrett on there?
No, Kirk Cousins has 449. Kirk Cousins from Washington.
Okay.
Tony Romo had 441. Matthew Stafford 441, and then Phillip Rivers with 434. So
Culpepper, not even. Wasn't Culpepper the one that lit him up with Moss?
Yeah.
obviously
He must not have thrown much more than those 3 touchdowns to Moss. Well, I mean, 440 some odd yards is a lot of yardage too.
Yeah.
And Brett Favre wasn't on there in the game either, huh?
Nothing. Yeah. But interesting
Interesting,
stats.
yeah, very interesting.
That's kind of cool. But obviously, with the two teams, I think the Lions and the Cowboys, it would be. That's very.
I like it.
Yeah. Kind of cool stuff, though. But I mean, obviously, Thanksgiving gives us, that excitement, and it's not really half, right? It's not really that half point, right? It's kind of a little bit after half, but
So let's do just a quick another little thing here. Who's your Thanksgiving Day MVP food wise? Who's your MVP food wise?
Mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay.
that's definitely not. Stuffing would definitely be,
Okay.
The MVP stuffing.
or
Maybe we can go eat dinner with Dallas then.
or
She likes stuffing.
or dressing, as my brothers
Yeah, someone
would
called
say.
dressing.
Okay, so
Oh, mashed potato fan.
Wow.
You know,
You
you
guys are
put this-
passing up the turkey all together.
no turkey, no turkey.
You haven't had.
It's good.
It's good.
Listen,
It's turkey.
the MVP is the skin
I
off
do,
the turkey that you deep fry.
Yeah, I do love the skin.
Have you had a deep fried
I
turkey?
haven't had a deep fried turkey.
Oh man, you're missing out. Deep fried skin. All right.
Or how about we just go straight past all that and just go to the pies?
Well, let's go pies.
Okay.
Let's go pies. Dessert, right? Dessert.
Okay.
would
Let's go
be-
dessert. Let's
So,
go dessert.
so we all have different
Yeah.
answers.
So, a little bit of a twist here. I don't like pie. I don't like.
A little twist.
I don't
That's
like-
a twist. Done.
I don't like pie crust. I don't like the pie crust.
So what
I will
would you go-
eat pumpkin pie filling, and if I eat pie, it's got to have graham cracker crust.
Okay.
I don't like the pastry pie filling or crust. Mine's gotta be graham cracker. But Aaron makes his peanut butter pie that rivals Vicky Edwards' peanut butter pie.
My mom also makes a peanut butter pie that rivals and is way better than all of theirs because she's my mom. So sorry,
I
Vicky.
just bought one of those today.
Did you? They're
From
good.
Vicky.
Aaron makes it very similar to
Butterfinger
that.
pie.
Yeah.
Aaron
Oh,
makes it
Butterfinger.
very similar
Yeah.
to that, but I think Aaron puts a little bit more Cool Whip into hers, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit fluffier.
Yep.
Vicky's was a little bit more rich when I had it.
Yeah, like has that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very
but
rich.
they're both good.
Me personally, I'm a cherry pie guy with the whipped cream on top. It's good.
So there's one other dessert that I just started eating not too long ago.
Or apple crisp.
My man, right there.
Apple crisp is so good.
with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hands down probably one of the best desserts. But for Thanksgiving, it is pecan pie.
Okay.
Are you a pecan pie
I
guy?
love pecan pie.
My
I
grandfather
love-
loves pecan
I
pie.
love pecan pie. It's the best.
Okay.
All right,
What about banana cream?
that's not Thanksgiving.
It could be anything you want.
Hey, listen, I've never had.
Interesting.
We were just. I'm trying to think of who I was talking to. I've never had mac and cheese with my Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Mac and
That's
cheese
a
is
southern
pretty good
thing.
one.
But
Huh?
that is a southern thing, you're right.
I went down when my brother was still dating his wife. I went down to Louisville for Thanksgiving one year, and we went to her father's house, and they brought out this mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you something, man. That is the best mac and cheese I've ever eaten in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes.
I can't
See,
wait.
I don't
I
like
can't
mashed
wait.
potatoes.
And
I'm not a
biscuits.
mashed potatoes.
I love biscuits.
Oh man, I love it all together, right? So I did see this as like a quick little thing. I did see where you mix. I'm trying to think of. You mix everything together, right? Game changer. You mix it all together, and then you put it in a waffle maker and make a waffle.
I've seen that, yeah.
Right? And then you put the cranberry sauce and the gravy on top.
See, The funny thing is,
Yes, sir.
the funny thing is I don't know if you guys know this or not, but most people know me. No, I'm an extremely picky eater.
I
You
didn't
don't
know that.
like your
I didn't
food
know
I
that.
am
touching.
I don't like my food touching, and I don't like most of the sides that you eat for Thanksgiving.
Really?
Cranberry sauce, get it out. Of
I
here.
love it. What about you?
Get it
No,
out of here.
I love cranberry
Simon
sauce.
loves it.
Mashed,
Me too.
mashed
Dallas likes
potatoes and gravy have no purpose on my table.
What?
That's the
purpose
what?
on my table.
Oh boy,
This is
Get it
disgusting.
out.
This is a
My
game
kids-
changer.
My kids love mashed potatoes.
I don't
Aaron
know if
likes
we can
it.
finish this.
I can't. I can't mash potatoes. No,
In
thank
general,
you.
mashed potatoes at all.
At all.
How about a little twist though?
I used to vomit on them. I used to gag on them.
Say,
Yeah.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving tradition? Do you
I
guys
mean-
have a tradition you do on Thanksgiving?
No, I mean, there's a history of it, right? But I think the natural answer, right, is just being together. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just being all together as a family. Everybody cooking together,
yeah.
watching the game.
Do you guys have a? Because you just were saying you have like 3 or 4 different Thanksgivings you go to.
Yeah,
So
but
do you have
there's
a,
no
a
like
tradition?
particular tradition, really.
Okay.
So I'm
I
guessing
think my
there's-
favorite thing about it is before everything starts. I like to get up in the morning, we have breakfast, and we watch the parade.
Okay.
I like it.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched a parade. I mean, I've seen clips and stuff. I've never really like,
Yeah.
sat down and
watch
watched
all
it.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's
how about you?
very sometimes disappointing because Thanksgiving's a very good holiday, and I feel like it gets
Pass over all
overlooked.
the
It does. I mean,
You know,
Christmas,
'cause
right?
A lot of Halloween's right there, then
Right.
Christmas is coming, so it's like in the middle, and people tend to forget about it, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Food, football, and family, man.
It's the best.
You know?
So
3 Fs.
when I was younger, the tradition for us was always to get up and go hunting in the morning.
Okay.
We got up, me, my brother, my dad, usually a couple other guys would go up and we'd go hunt, and then go to my grandma's and have the Thanksgiving, right? When I started dating Erin, then we started doing the different Thanksgivings.
Right.
Her family always had a turkey bowl game.
See, I would love that.
I
We
love
used to
it.
do that when
And
I was a kid.
loved that became my favorite thing.
What position were you?
Usually injured.
Injured. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
all of it. All of it. So it got so serious that the first year I played, I dropped like 4 or 5 passes, and her family's got some athletes in it, and they like to talk trash, and I
Right.
like to talk trash. So I was like, screw this. Next year I went out and bought receiving gloves. I
Yeah.
bought receiving gloves just for her Turkey Day Bowl, and that's all I wear them for, right? So,
Are you still doing it?
no, and it
Oh,
drives me nuts.
That's upsetting.
I got to play in like 4 turkey bowls.
That would be awesome, though.
And now
I would love that
Now,
too.
we're, now
Yeah.
we're all gotten to the point now where if we bend over to tie our shoes, we get hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we can't. But that was my favorite tradition. Was
That's
playing
an
that
amazing
game.
you think we could get enough people together to do
Yes.
our own turkey bowl?
There's you guys come up across the street at the church every year. They have like 20
Here.
some people out there playing. It's a family that lives around here.
I would
But
just
there's
come
so
up
many-
and play football and go home.
Well,
and
Dude,
remember last time we
I
played?
thought about, and they play early. They play at like 8:30 in the morning.
I
Like,
like
they're out
it.
there
We would
playing.
have to. I think we'd have to get like a group of people, figure out where we'd meet. But
I bet
Yeah.
you could get it going.
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, and like they had like
Flags.
flags
Yep.
that they use, and they had, and Aaron's family had like her mom or her grandmother is very very big Notre Dame fan, Irish Catholic,
Mhm.
and so they had a team that was blue shirts and a team that was green shirts.
would they play? Grandma and Grandpa play?
No.
No. It would be awesome though.
But it was always, and like I said, we played in like there was one year I'll never forget. There was like 2.5, 3 feet of snow on the ground.
Love it.
And I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I
are we
do
still gonna
too.
play? Are we still gonna play? And it ended up being Aaron, me, her brother Ryan, and 2 of her cousins went out to play football.
Really.
And we had one person be all-time QB, and we
And
played
then
2
Ryan,
on 2
QB.
football
Wow.
in like 3 feet of snow.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, and
That's
I-
an amazing tradition. I would
Yeah.
love to start that, like with.
It was so
Yeah,
cool.
that'd
It
be-
was awesome, and I was just like, oh, why don't we do it anymore? Then, like I said, I get hurt tying my shoe, so
Yeah. Well.
so. But that was probably pretty, the coolest tradition.
The last few years it's been pretty nice at like at my mom's house with all my brothers and my sister and stuff there. After we eat and stuff, we play board games.
See, that's fun.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, yeah,
See, that's
Stuff,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We've been doing the last few years.
See, this year is going to be different for me. This is going to be the first year we only have one Thanksgiving to go to.
Wow.
First year.
Is it weird?
It's going to be weird.
Is it? It's at her.
It's at her mom's house, yeah.
House. Nice.
So we'll go out there and we'll be with her mom and her sister and and both her brothers. All the family out there. And then I haven't heard anything from my side of the family, and my parents are still down in Louisville.
Yep.
They're not coming up this year. And then Saturday, her grandma's having like the big extended family Thanksgiving. But this year will be the first time where we're not like driving out to the Deposit and then driving to Endicott.
Which is kind of nice in a sense, right?
Yeah,
You'll be able to relax,
yeah.
you know.
So it'll be interesting, but it'll be first year we don't have to. Well, I don't feel like I'm rushed,
Right.
or I have to get somewhere.
That's why I've kind of always liked the Cowboys having that 4:30 game. Because we leave, we go here, we go there. But by 4:30, we're somewhere like our
Set,
last
right?
stop.
Okay.
And we're set.
See, the only thing I can say about our traveling was, I don't know how it worked out so perfectly for us. Is Aaron's family eats at 1, my family eats at 5.
Mm.
So we get done with hers, and then have a little bit of relaxed time, and then
Right.
hop in the car. And usually, before my grandma passed, we headed at her house down to Endicott.
Okay.
Fly down to Endicott.
Right, and then just.
You and I'd always tell them, don't wait for us. Put it on the table. We'll get there for dessert. And it never failed that they said dinner will be at 4:30, and at 5:30 they're putting the dinner on the table.
And you would get there. Right?
We get there and have. But yeah.
It's a tough day. It's a tough. Like you just feel so full.
Yeah.
From
Now,
all
what are you
these-
doing for it?
Going to my sister's. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're having some family. This will be. The past couple of years, it's just been kind of us. It's kind of smaller. My sister's kids and everything, and my mom. And this year, we're gonna have some more extended family, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's gonna be.
Shout out to your mom, by the way, for that wonder. You've noticed the football blanket is missing today. Our football blanket that your mom made for
Cowboys.
William is no longer on the back of the couch because he has decided that is going to be his snuggly blanket that he took to school for nap time.
She's pretty. She's
So
pretty.
he's got that wrapped up on him for.
pretty
So if
nap
you
time.
listen, I'd like a snuggly blanket too.
She made a cool one. That was pretty.
Yeah, that was
you
cool.
know, designed by myself. I can't lie. I did make the design, but she created.
She put
So.
it she put it together. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
yeah, thank you very much. But hey, good Thanksgiving episode. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's good to get back to just kind of BSing about some stuff
This has
instead of
been
being
nice.
scripted. I feel like we were starting to get a little scripted.
It just kept on getting like to the same level, right? Where we were like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Like you said, it was like, all right, didn't watch that game.
Yeah.
Didn't watch this game.
So we'll just the big parts, and then we'll go from there. So
I think it's been nice. It's been like you said. It's like that lunchroom that we used to be. Where I feel like we're not even recording right now.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
just talking.
Yeah, hanging out. Yeah.
And this is special. Thanksgiving is all about family, and even though we're not together, this is like our Thanksgiving
Yeah,
together.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah. And yeah.
So
Just without the food.
Without the food.
Thanks. Next time.
yeah,
I got the pizza next time.
we were hoping for pizza or garlic knots or something. But hey, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I think that gives us one more week down. So, till next time.
To you
See you
guys.
One mic.
Let's go.
Peace.